The Alpha, the Servant, and the Destiny Written in Blood, Episode 1. Legends say the ancient werewolf kingdom of Odesus was built on three things: the strength of its kings, the loyalty of its wolves, and the one love fate would never allow. Alpha Armah had conquered kingdoms, commanded storms, and silenced battlefields with a single roar. But he could not silence his heart. Because every time he looked at Davina, a quiet servant no one else noticed, his wolf stilled, his breath paused, his world narrowed, and the strongest alpha born in 1,000 years felt something he could never admit. "Alpha, the council awaits," a warrior called. Armah didn't move. Davina had just walked by, carrying a simple bowl of water, unaware that the king of Odesus watched her like she was the only light in a kingdom of shadows. A werewolf king and a human servant, a connection older than memory, forbidden by every law and tradition. And neither of them knew that this silent longing would one day determine the fate of the entire kingdom. Armah hid his feelings with the discipline of a warrior, but small betrayals of his heart slipped through. When icy storms swept across Odesus, he ordered quietly, "Take this blanket to Davina. No one must know who sent it." The guard blinked. "To the servant girl?" Armah's jaw clenched. "Do as I said." He cared from a distance, loved from much farther. And Davina never imagined a king whispered her name in the silence of his nights. Years passed with the same unspoken ache, until one morning, Armah overheard two maids whispering, "Davina is getting married. To the fisherman." The words struck him deeper than any blade. He didn't roar, didn't shift, didn't rage, but inside, something broke softly. That night, beneath the twin moons of Odesus, he stood on the citadel wall and let duty devour the last hope he'd buried in his heart. Time pushed him forward. He married Neptune, the fierce alpha queen of the Orion wolves. Together they formed the Golden Empire, a union strong enough to protect two kingdoms. They were powerful, respected, even content. But in the quietest corner of Armah's soul, a single name still glowed like a forbidden flame: Davina. Whenever they crossed paths, at festivals, ceremonies, village gatherings, Davina bowed, hands trembling, unable to meet his eyes. She never understood why her heart reacted to him, like remembering something it had no right to remember. Time moved, stars shifted, destiny waited, until the night it arrived. The sky split open with streaks of rainbow fire. Armah turned sharply as the air in his chamber shimmered. A warm scent of roses, rain, and storm wind wrapped around him. A figure stepped forth, swirling gold, blue, and crimson light, the rainbow goddess of love. Her voice was layered, echoing with the weight of many worlds. "Alpha Armah." Armah bowed. "Goddess. You are a king beloved by fate," she said, "but you have ignored the truth that binds your soul." Armah steadied himself. "Speak." She raised her hand, and visions crashed into existence. Shadow beasts overrunning the kingdom, warriors falling, darkness swallowing even the strongest wolves of Odesus. Then, a single drop of glowing blood fell into a chalice. The darkness recoiled. The warriors rose. "To defeat the Dark Sea Kingdom," the goddess said, "you will need a power older than war." Armah stepped closer. "What power?" She looked directly into him. "A bond older than time itself." Silence thickened. The air trembled. "You," she whispered, "will need the blood of your true mate." Armah's heartbeat stumbled. His wolf went still. He already knew. He had always known. The goddess touched his chest. "Your true mate is the one who calmed your storms without speaking. the one whose absence carved a wound nothing ever healed. Then she spoke the name he feared most. Your true mate is Davina. Armah inhaled sharply. Not as a king, not as an alpha, but as a man whose deepest truth finally had a voice. But she is married, he whispered. Paths may separate, the goddess said, but souls remain bound. And Neptune? He asked quietly. She is your ally, your partner, your chosen queen. Her voice softened. But she is not the echo of your soul. Armah's voice trembled. What must I do? Make peace with your heart. In 1,000 years, Davina's blood, through a descendant or through sacrifice, will determine the fate of Odesus. Her radiant form dimmed, dissolving into sparks. You cannot stop what is written, she whispered. But you can prepare. Armah stood alone, breath unsteady, destiny pressing hard against his chest. For the first time in years, he whispered her name. Davina. The wind carried it across the ancient werewolf kingdom, as if the world itself had been waiting. And far away, in her small village, Davina lifted her head, eyes wide, as if her spirit had been called.